Hi everybody, this is Jay Haynes with the Film Sensei YouTube channel coming to you from beautiful Virginia, USA, here in the Shenandoah Valley. It's a gorgeous day outside. I wish I could have done this live stream outside, but these things happen. Um, Hopefully everything will go well. I am using the new YouTube beta stuff, and so hopefully it's working. If it is, let me know in the comments here, and I'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I'm gonna just real quickly go through the rules if I can find them. Aha! Here are the rules for any Film Sensei live stream, and basically I just have three rules. They're very important to me. And if you would just follow those rules, I would really appreciate it. Number one, please no profanity on my channel. This is a family and children friendly YouTube channel, and I would like to keep it that way, so I appreciate that. Number two, no negative comments, please. I just don't like the negativity of hate speech and all that kind of stuff, so if we could just keep it real positive, I would really appreciate that. And then number three, don't ask for a shout out. Just ask me a question, and I will be delighted to announce your channel name before answering the question. And that is essentially a shout out. So let me just take a quick peek here and make sure we're running. Hopefully everything is going on, and it looks that way. So I'm just going to real quickly make sure that we are in fact live here. Because I would hate to go through all of this and not be actually on the channel here. So that would not be any good. And are we? Yes, we are. We are live. Oh, how exciting. All right. I appreciate everybody being here today. And it's good to see you guys. We have several things that are going on in the hit film community today, over the past couple of weeks. And so I just want to kind of cover all of these things. It's such an exciting time for hit film users. And the past week and a half or 2 weeks, we have had more things happen than we've ever had in any 2 week period, I think. And it's a couple of things. One is NAB just happened in Las Vegas, and the hit film crew is out there, and they made several different announcements of things that were going on. And then on Thursday, there was a fantastic live stream with, it appeared to be only Josh and Javert and Gavin, I think, in the background. That might have been it. Josh is known for having loose lips and wanting to tell more than he's probably supposed to, and people there kind of rein him in. Well, it seemed like everybody who would normally rein him in wasn't there, and so he had plenty to say, and we're going to kind of talk about all of those things through this entire process. So I'm glad that you're all here. I appreciate you tuning in today, and so let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is this. Filmstro subscriptions are now being sold in the Hit Film store, and that is pretty exciting. If you go to the Hit Film store, let me just take you over there. What you'll find in the Hit Film store are Hit Film products, right? Hit Film Studio, Hit Film Pro. You'll find Emerge and Ignite. You'll find Action Pro, which is one of my favorites. And now you have a new category. It's the third-party software section here, Filmstro. And this is really, really cool. The idea here is that you can sort of create your own music within your project, and it's your music. It's specific to what you're doing. It's all keyframeable. It's really cool. And so it was announced, and here is the article on it. FX Home teams up with Filmstro to deliver dynamic, keyframeable, royalty-free music. library to hit film users. You'll notice the part down here that I highlighted. Hit film users can control the momentum, depth, and power of any Filmstro track using sliders to perfectly match any sequence in a hit film project. And that sort of threw us off a little bit. You go to the forums and you can see that Triam23 said right here on the top, you know, and now Filmstro can run in hit film. Yeah, and that's not exactly true. And I thought the same thing because in the article it specifically said in a hit film project, right? And so down below, Javert got on and clarified it for us. He said Filmstro is just being sold in our store now. There isn't yet an integrated version in hit film, and I'm like, yet? Oh, yet? What do you mean there isn't yet? So this sort of brings up a lot of things that potentially could, you know, be. First of all, you know, it would be really cool if it was ultimately integrated into hit film. But whether or not that's even possible, I don't know. You know, you have a subscription-based product that would be in a purchase-based product. I don't know. It's hard to say. But regardless of that, as cool as that would be, it's just cool to have Filmstro. And I have played with Filmstro. I've worked with it. It is really an amazing product. I do not have a subscription to Filmstro because I don't use it enough. And I wouldn't use it enough. And $249 is how much it costs. And that's a little bit of money. And that'd be a little bit too much for me. But if, you know, if I were to... oh shit, are we not live? Are we not live, guys? Oh no, I'm afraid we are not live. Okay, so back up here. We're live, guys. We're live. I'm telling you, we're live, right? We're live. I hope we're live. All right, hang on. I'm gonna double check, guys, again, because I thought I was live, but maybe I'm not live, and that could be a real problem here, huh? It could be. And oh, I am live. Oh, good. Okay, we're live. We're live. We're good. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so here's the thing. Hit film is back to what I was talking about. The idea of pairing products together with each other, where you have like a company that has a base of customers, and then you have another company with a product that could really be valuable to that base of customers. That's really cool, right? And so the neat thing about that is the idea that you could really find products and broker them to your customer base, and everybody wins because of that, right? So the question is, what other things could you possibly have in your base that would be really, you know, other products could you find that might go into the hit film store? Maybe different sound effects like the triune packs or something, maybe hit film presets, maybe blender builds. I know that Frank on the forums, Spider Hank, is working on creating these amazing blender builds. Maybe After Effects plugins, you know, that are for sale can drop in there. We're going to talk about the plugins. Maybe image textures, 3D models, things like that. You know, you just never know what kinds of things you could really have in there. It'd be really cool. Also, you could have other things like microphones, cameras, you know, even computer builds that are specific to hit film. Boy, that'd really be cool. Is if you could, you know, find a computer build right in the store and just order it right out of there. Maybe some hit film merchandise, things like that. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that there would be anything that would go with that? That's, I guess, the big question that that I'm curious about. Ask in the comments below, and we'll take a look and see what you have to say there. I'll answer anything that you're interested in, and let's talk about number 2, and that is this one right here, and that is Foundry camera tracking coming to hit film. Oh, now that's an exciting thing also. I know Javert talked about, he was really super excited about the After Effects plugins coming to hit film, but I'm really excited about the Foundry stuff coming to hit film. I think that that is super exciting, and basically Foundry is the best tracking software in the business. Okay, it's developed. The company is made or founded in 1996, I think. They have Nuke as their main product, and what you do is you're walking around with your camera, and then you bring the footage in, and you just say do it. It tracks the points in your scene. And it just does it, and it's really, really, really impressive. According to everybody that I've talked to, it will be in HitFilm Pro by default, and there'll be an add-on for Express on top of that. It will be very affordable. I saw an interview with Kirsty, and she said it'll run about $50, which is a pretty good price for such a powerful add-on that you would see in that in that software. So the time frame on that is, I think I saw where it said it's a mid-year time frame, and actually there's an article here, and I'll pull this up and show you. It is right there. FX Home partners with Foundry to integrate a 3D camera tracker. I'll see if I can leave a link in the description below for that after the live stream is over. And that's pretty exciting news, right? The question becomes, what will happen with the Mocha camera tracker in Boris, or by Boris FX, and the answer is nothing. It does its own thing. It does its thing. There's also the 3D objects in there, and there's some other the other things that Boris stuff can do, and that's just gonna hang out. Now, Josh said in the live stream on Thursday that that is the last major add-on to the HitFilm software package that was needed, and I agree. I mean, pretty much HitFilm will be able to do everything that you will ever need it to do, all rolled into one package now that the Foundry camera tracking software is in HitFilm, or it will be shortly. The time frame, it looks like the time frame will be around May, June, or July time frame, mid-year. At least that's what they've said. So, or at least that's what I remember them saying, I hope. So hopefully, that will be the deal. So I'm getting some things here in my chat room that says I'm not live, but I could have swore I was live. So let me take a look and see what we've got here. Maybe I'm in the wrong chat room. That could be a possibility. Let me find. Oh, here we go. How about this one? Let me take a look at that. And yes, here I am. Oh, now I'm here. Okay, so I have found my own live stream here. So I might have had the wrong number. Sorry about that before. It's good to have everybody here, and let's keep on talking. I'm going to move on to the next one, which is right here. After Effects plugins coming to HitFilm. Oh, and this is the one that Javert said he was most excited about. I've talked to several people about this. They have all said that this is their most exciting thing that they that they're looking forward to seeing in the added to the software. When is this going to happen? Again, I saw where it said mid-year, May, July, that kind of a thing. And I think that that's probably accurate, but it may be later. In the interview, Kirsty said it would be in, quote, the very near future. The very near future. So we'll see about that. It will be in Hit Film Pro by default. And it will be an add-on in Express. What plugins will be available? And the answer is lots of them. It seems for sure that Video Copilot plugins will be in there. Red Giant plugins will be in there. I think Javert alluded to the idea that he actually has played with those. That's pretty exciting. Other ones that you might see, Element 3D, optical flares. You never know. Josh, in the live stream on Thursday, basically asked all the users to just let them know what they would like to have. So what would you like to have? Please, write a comment in the section here. Would love to know what you would love to see as far as After Effects plugins. I think that is maybe the most exciting thing. I'm very excited about the Foundry, but the plugins into After Effects would be really, really cool, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Let me see if I have a couple of different things here. I think, you guys, what do you think? What would be the best thing or the best After Effects plugin that you would like to see? Like I said, you want to let FX Home know what you would like to see, because I guess they probably built a sort of base foundation of code for it, and now they have to kind of just say, well, let's go after this one, let's go after that one. We'll see how many different ones they can slide in there, but that's going to be really exciting, and that's going to be something pretty cool, and it doesn't look like it'll be that far down the line, right? So let's talk about the next one, which is Vegas Post, coming this year. This is a project that is being done both between Sony and FX Home. It's pretty exciting. They have worked very well together in the past, but they're coming out with a new software suite of products, and essentially it is Vegas, which is for editing, HitFilm, which is for visual effects, and Emerge for the image editing and manipulation. That is really cool. I know a lot of people, very good friends of mine, that use Vegas for all of their editing. They may do all their stuff in HitFilm and as far as visual effects and compositing, and then they bring it over to Vegas and do that. So I know a lot of people who'd be very interested in this piece of software, and that's pretty cool. The idea that you can put those together in the same suite of projects. Now, given the fact that it's called a suite of projects, I'm guessing that it's probably Vegas slash HitFilm slash Emerge, and it much like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and they work together. It would really, really be cool if it was all one package, but I'm not sure that's what it's going to be. In the article that was announcing it from NAB, it said it would be launching in the third quarter, which would be either July, August, or September, and the price of that would be announced then, but it looks, I think Kirsty said it would be more like October, November, December. So not sure. I guess we'll find out. I think that that Vegas Post is a very exciting product, though, for sure. So let's talk about next thing, and that is future improvements in HitFilm that we most likely will be able to see. Most of the stuff that I'm going to talk about here is coming from the live stream that happened on Thursday. Although there are some other things that I picked up along the way as well. The thing is, and this is the exciting part, is that, like I said, there's apparently a holiday going on in England. It's a 4-day holiday, and most of the staff left on Thursday night, just leaving loose lips there to chat, and nobody to really stop him from chatting. And so he sort of gave away a bunch of stuff. And so I'm just going to real quickly run down it. Josh started talking about the media bin in hit film, which personally I think the media bin is very satisfactory. But he said, he really wanted to see some improvements in that, and he's, I'd really like to. Apparently he has a very specific vision as to exactly what the media bin should look like. And he said, I've seen a few pieces of software that had a great media bin, but not perfect. And I have this vision of this perfect media bin, and it's going to be coming to hit film hopefully sometime over the next year, right? So it'll be interesting to see, what would you like to see changed in the media bin, or how that is presented. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the media bin myself, but he seemed to think that there could be some room for improvement there. So let me know. We'll put it in the comments and see what you have to say. Also, he talked about a new and improved color grading tool set that will be coming to hit film, and that's pretty cool. He sort of used a he sort of talked about Emerge and the fact that they're going to steal stuff from Emerge and bring it into hit film. Things like tone coloring, removing stock background kind of stuff, as well as high pass sharpen, picking out the details of a picture. He's talking about bringing, stealing that because apparently they have a really strong group of developers that are working on the Emerge product, and because of that, he's like, man, we gotta use what they're doing and bring it into our flagship product, hit film. So that's pretty neat. I really think that would be a very exciting thing to see. Also, they talked a little bit about a texture applying plugin that would go beyond the kind of standard parallax effect and Surface Studio, I guess. And that sounds kind of exciting. I think that Surface Studio is something that is a really nice addition to hit film, but it is underutilized. And I think that FX Home did a thing on it. Javert did a really nice job of a tutorial on it. I really enjoyed that tutorial. I would strongly recommend you, if you have Pro and you're interested in Surface Studio, to go take a look at that. And I did a couple of different ones on Surface Studio as well, but really I would like to see some people jump on that effect and really get really show us how to do it well. If there's a texture applying plugin that's coming in down the road, that would just enhance it even further. So that's pretty cool. Josh talked about complementary mobile apps. The question came up, what about hit film for your cell phone or for a tablet or something? And, the reality is it's not very practical. In fact, that would be horrible and be really hard to use and be, it'd just be really not a good fit. But he talked about having apps for a mobile device, a phone, or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I know we're talking about, Action Pro, kind of a thing, using a cell phone to communicate with that and that kind of stuff. I don't know what kind of complementary mobile apps they're talking about, but it sounds pretty exciting. So leave it in the comments below what you think. Maybe that would be. They're talking about improving and adding high-end codecs to the list. So ProRes, Magic, H.265. But it is important to know that they want our feedback as regards to what kind of codecs we would like to see. Do we want to see Red Epic codec in there? Is there anybody who even uses the Red Epic and uses HitFilm at the same time? There probably is, but they have 3.8 million people that have gone through the store and have downloaded this products. Probably the vast majority don't use that, but get in touch with FX Home and say, hey, these are the codecs that I'm really interested in. Can you add these? And they said they would absolutely, put them in based on what is the most popularly requested one. So, if you can kind of get your vote in there, and hopefully we'll get to see some better high-end codecs that you can that you can drop and use right in HitFilm. They talked about foreign languages. HitFilm right now is an English program, and the language that is being used is English. And you can only run it in English. Everything in HitFilm is in English. But apparently they're working on foreign language versions of this program, Spanish, German, whatever. That is very cool. That is very exciting because I think that HitFilm is genuinely an international phenomenon, and it should be able to be accessible by anybody of all different languages. And so that's pretty exciting. I think that's really cool. I think that's probably a lot of work, but I'm glad to hear that they are doing that. Somebody asked a question about time remapping, and Josh said, and I quote, "I think this is a thing we will work on. The whole frame rate and timing workflow will change over the next year." He's talking about the frame rate and timing workflow in HitFilm, and this was in the live stream on Thursday. You can reference 51 minutes and 10 seconds for that quote. And I think that's very interesting. He said it won't necessarily be obvious to those of us, on the outside of the software who are just using it, but it is a big change, and as a result, it will let them do a lot more things with frame rate. It'll deal with the higher frame rates a lot better, and it'll give us some better opportunities to really do some time remapping and things like that. So I think that's pretty exciting as well. I'm very excited because the next FX Home live stream will be a live demo of HitFilm by Javert. And this is something that I have been asking for a long time. Actually having somebody live stream demo it. I have thought about doing it, but the problem that I have is my computer is not quite powerful enough to run a full live stream and HitFilm with some heavy effects going on at the same time. I don't know about you, but the most stable version of HitFilm I ever had was version 4. It never crashed on me. Neither did 2 or 3 and 4. HitFilm 2017 had a few crashing issues, but not much. But ever since version 6, I've had more. And I think it's not HitFilm's fault. It's my fault for having a lousy computer. And I actually have on my bucket list is to get a new computer for HitFilm to run. And Josh actually alluded to the fact that they're going to raise the minimum spec of HitFilm users up to the Intel HD 5000 processor. And what time frame, you ask? Shortly was what he said. Shortly. You can reference that at 50 minutes and 6 seconds in Thursday's FX Home live stream. And that doesn't surprise me because as the software continues to build and add more things and more things are being piled in there, it's going to require more computer to run it. And so if you are like me and you're on the lower end of the spectrum as far as, computer power, you might want to think about saving your money now, because I don't think it will be long before HitFilm may move above the spec of your computer, the minimum of HitFilm. So just be careful with that. know that that's probably on the way, right? I saw in the interview with Kirsty, she talked about hit film, the distribution of things that can be done in hit film. She said about 75% of all of the effects and all the things that you can do in hit film can be found in Express, which is an astonishing number. I never really thought about it, but the more I thought about that, the more I thought, my gosh, what kind of a company gives away 75% of its products for free? That's amazing, you know? And then out of the rest, about 20% can be purchased inexpensively through add-ons. So you can pick and choose a la carte style what you want. And that is really cool too. I'm like, wow, that's neato. And then only about 5% can only be found in Pro. But just the fact that any company would give away 75% of all the product that it produces, and basically pay for their bills on the other 25%, that's something to think about. And that's a company that I think should be supported. And so, I'm happy to support Hit Film. I have been with Hit Film, I believe, since 2012, since Hit Film 2 Ultimate. And I jumped right in. I didn't even start with Express. I went straight to Ultimate, and I've owned it ever since. I have upgraded every year ever since. And I know it sort of ends up being like a subscription, by doing that. But I feel that I'm really getting my money's worth and a lot more. And so I would encourage you to do the same. Support this company because they're really doing great things in the community. They're helping people who never had the opportunity to make special effects, to make movies and make short films, and do wedding videos or whatever they want to do, to be able to actually do them. I had to laugh. Mike Miller this morning posted something that I thought was amusing. He said, that he's tickled by the fact that you can have a $500 computer and a free piece of software, Hit Film Express, and be able to create better special effects than you saw in Star Trek The Next Generation, where they were using $500,000 computer system to build those things. It's astonishing. It really is. And none of that would really be possible without Hit Film. They have pushed the boundaries of the lower end side of entering in. They have lowered the barriers to entry for people to go into this kind of thing, and as a result, I think that we as the customer base should support that. And even if you go, oh, I don't know if I really need it, it's really not that much to upgrade, especially if you've already bought the software. They give you a great upgrade deal. And given how much money they most likely have to spend to put things like the Boris FX things in, the new Foundry, and the other things that are provided by third parties, I think it's a great deal. And so even if you don't necessarily need to use it, it's just a good idea to support the company because they really do bring value to the community. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I think, let's see, I'm just going to run through some things here. I appreciate Javert being here. Oh, it's great to see you. And Mike, Hit Film University, glad to see you. Tony with Dafter Things. Dafter Things does some great fun Lego videos with Hit Film. He asked for some voiceover work, and so I provided it for him, and he's working on that now. And hopefully in the near future we'll see a Lego video with my voice in it. That would be very exciting. I work a lot with Coast to Coast Drones. He's a great guy, lives out on the West Coast, and he does all kinds of amazing stuff. Good to see you there, sir. A lot of guys from overseas I'm noticing here too. This is great. Appreciate it. And Yep. Condor 31i says you need some strong software working with HitFilm, or and I hardware. I mean, working with HitFilm. And I agree. I think that you know, and you're going to need stronger because the program is getting better, and as the software improves, you're going to need more to be able to run it. And so I think that that's absolutely true. Super Mega Smith asks, "What is your favorite effect that you have done?" My favorite effect that I personally have done is the particle sim Avengers disintegration effect. By the way, speaking of, I mentioned that Javert is doing a live stream next month and he's demoing HitFilm. He will be working with the particle sim, and Javert is absolutely the best there is with the particle sim. Between the particle sim, using the particle sim and the light flares and the glow effects, he's the best there is. And I don't know if you know this, but I actually got to meet Javert. My son and I were in Washington, D.C., and at the time he was living in the area, and it was very exciting. We had lunch, we had pizza together, and it was really nice to meet him. This was before he moved to England and began working full time. So, thanks for the question. The Wrench Review's got to run. We'll look forward to seeing you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm about wrapping it up too. If you have any last minute questions, please feel free to ask them now. We'll love to answer anything else. Adapter things. I like the fact that I can get a decent effect with very little effort. Seeing as I'm a little lazy, I think Dafter Things is not as lazy as he claims he is. Javert says 10 glows on every level. That's the secret. I have what I call the triple glow, the Javert triple glow effect that I use all the time, and it is a beautiful way to blend in the glows to create something that looks super awesome. But 10 glows, yeah, 12. You know, make it a baker's dozen, maybe. Um, let's see. The Hit Film University says yes. VFX is one of the most computationally intense things that one can do, especially in the particle sim. I totally agree. Super Mega Smith asks, "Have you used Production Crate?" Yes, I have. In fact, I have a membership to Production Crate, and I use their stuff all of the time. I did recently submit to their 10-second contest, Hidden World, and I was mentioned. I got an honorable mention. I didn't win or anything. That's okay, but I got an honorable mention for the first time ever, and so I'm so excited about that. That was very, very cool. And Dafter's Thing says, "I'm struggling with HitFilm 12. HitFilm 4 is a dream," and I agree. And you know, it's probably again a computer spec issue, right? But the you know, if you do upgrade to 12, and I would encourage you to do that, you might wait until after you have improved your computer system. But the improvements in version 12 were absolutely astonishing. They redid the entire front end of it, the interface. I am actually working on a complete masterclass for HitFilm for a Christian-based filmmaking university. And they're really hacking me off because every time I get a section done, then they introduce a new update. I look in and it's different, and I go, "Oh my gosh!" Now I have to redo that whole thing. There's used to be in the lower right hand corner or left hand corner, there was an arrow, and then you would click on that and it would say track sizes and show the waveforms and things like that. I did a whole little section video on that because this masterclass is like 60 some odd videos, and then they came out with a version, I think it was 12.3 or 12.2, and that arrow was gone. And I'm like, what happened to my arrow? Now it's like 3 little lines on the top of the editor timeline. It has the same exact things, but I had to go back in and redo it. And I'm afraid that by the time I get done with the masterclass, I'm going to have to restart over on the beginning stuff because they just keep coming out with new updates. And that is also a remarkable thing about this company. It drives me crazy. when you're trying to build a masterclass, but it's you just don't see this kind of work being done by other companies, other software manufacturers. They're always in the game, and it's so exciting all the time. So, yeah, the Film Empire says, I got Jamie, good to see you. I saw your pictures of your play. How exciting. I got confused by the track sizes too at first, but I couldn't find it, and that's because they moved. They moved them, and it was in the notes, but if you didn't read the notes, you'd be like, where'd it go? Oh, and Pure Ostentation says locking layers, and that is, I forgot to mention that, I think. They are, Josh also mentioned that they will be adding locking layers and locking tracks. That is very, very nice as well, because sometimes you're working on something and you move the wrong thing, or you add your effect to the wrong thing, and boy, it would really be nice to be able to lock that puppy down and say, it's done, don't touch it again. And then when you try to touch it, it says, no, you've locked it. So I know for me, that'll be really cool. So, so if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's been about 40 minutes worth here. And I really appreciate you hanging out with me. If you, like I said, check us out on the forums, read everything that's going on there. That's the best place to get information and learn more about the software. But if you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Send me an email, or it's in the email link is in my YouTube description there. And otherwise, hey, thanks for watching.